Play an intro now? Okay.
30 to
So when it gets down to the end of the intro,
30 to 50% of your fractures produce 80% of your hydrocarbons.
That lends a lot of credibility. You know, if you come in and can be upfront and honest and say, you know, actually in this application, I think this product over here that I don't represent would be better for you. That all of a sudden now you become a trusted advisor rather than a salesman.
And you know, I often say that we have all the requirements of space, right? Because it has to go underground and send us data from miles and miles away, and it has to work. Like, failure is not an option.
We'll put on, you know, a standard mule shoe. Ours is slightly different just for that, but it's, you know, everybody's got one.
The top drive and the drawworks really don't care whether the electrons coming at it are from a joystick or a PLC.
The panel, what you see here on the left, which is now controlled by one of my students, is showing you actually the control of our brakes.
As of now, geothermal is a pretty small market.
If you have tortuosity, the casing will be up against the side on part of the well. There won't be any cement there. The cement will have crested around it.
So managed pressure drilling, it's been defined as a process to precisely control the pressure profile in the wellbore.
The key is being transparent with our clients in this case. So tell them what happened. If we had a failure, tell them exactly what happened. Whether it's our fault, whether it's whatever the issue was, we need to be transparent.
But I think it's very important for everyone in the industry to know what's out there and kind of what's happening downhole as well.
I've probably worked on over 40 different performance limiters in my career. If I miss any of those and the computer is raising weight on bit and I miss any of those, I have a train wreck. The computer's going in the ocean.
Here's your new colors, here's your new thing. We won't do that at all.
Here's the tattoo you need to get.
Yeah, here's the tattoo. Sorry about the last one. We used to fake that all the time.
hello everyone, and welcome to the Vdoorlocksmith Show, where we are coming to you live on a very special occasion here from Corvacon 2022. Absolutely exciting day, and so pleased to be able to have all of you out there watching with us. So please be sure, for all of those that are out there watching, let us know where you guys are watching from. I don't have my phone. I do have my phone on me. I don't have it up and ready yet, but we'll be sure. We'll ask Tracy to be able to put your stuff up on the screen. We just won't be able to read it off. Anyways, this is the Vdoorlocksmith Show, where we're unlocking the secrets to success in the oil and gas industry. One interview, one technical presentation, and one technical screw-up at a time. Don't know what today's technical screw-up is, but we are live on location, like I said, here at Corvacon 2022. So I'm pretty sure I've gotten something wrong at some point in time. So to be able to get this interview started, I want to be able to introduce Ryan Dawson, CEO of Corva. We're also here with Marcus Howell, so not going to forget about him. But Ryan, give us your thoughts on today and what I was going. I mean, you can hear applause in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it. We definitely can. A lot taking place. Your thoughts on today?
Yeah, thanks so much. Today's the 4th annual Corpacon. Can't believe this is the 4th one, but today is about community, connection, and collaboration. We are bringing together everyone. We have a NASA executive over there giving a talk now. And then we have 25 experts from around the industry doing panels. If you're watching now, you can still maybe make the happy hour at 4 p.m. over here at the Powder Keg. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming and attending. And hopefully, if you didn't make it this year, you can make it next year.
I would say this: if you're watching this, finish watching, and then get in your car and drive out here so you can see. Exactly. I'm moderating a panel a little bit later, actually located right behind me. We're on the 2nd floor. You're on a panel as well, Marcus. Which panel are you on?
I'm one of the sustainability panels. So,
yeah, mine's the drilling and automation. Wait, it says people safety and automation is where mine's at, but mine's drilling and completions data stuff. So how does it feel for you, Ryan, to be able to see this many people coming out and just partaking in an event like this?
Yeah, it's amazing. And like, selfishly, I don't want this to be about Corva. I want this to be about everyone else in the industry. I mean, I think I've been to too many sales conferences or too many conferences that are boring. And so every year I'm hounding people. How can we make it more exciting? How can we make it more interesting? How can we serve more like cookies and treats and, things like that? And so it is a hard thing to put on every year, and unfortunately we don't get paid for it. So, that's one part of it. But seeing more and more people come is really exciting because that's what we do it for.
I think for next year we need a dunk tank, but you have to be the guy sitting in it, and then just let everybody just start, throwing baseballs and see if we can get you.
We talked about that. We had a rodeo this spring, and I was going to be the dunk tank. I will say there will be 2 beer burros at the happy hour. One serving, one donkey serves tequila, and the other serving beer. But
I was thinking more urban cowboy, mechanical bull, maybe out here. Fit the vibe.
Whoever stays on longest gets a free month of Corva, right?
That's it.
Sure. All right. Well, you guys have a great talk. And we'll see you
Well,
later.
Ryan, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for putting on this amazing event. Speaking of Corva, all right, this is your chance. If you will type in #Corva, right, put it into the comment section now, put in #Corva for your chance to be able to win a drill bit. And today's drill bit happens to be, as Ryan said a minute ago, looks like an ice cream flavored drill bit. So yeah, we're gonna give away a drill bit. So type in #Corva. We'll go ahead and start the interview, so that way everybody kind of put in your comments and stuff. We got plenty of people commenting. Tracy, we got 2. Oh,
Is one of those my mom?
oh. All right, so we'll do the drawing in just a minute. We'll get started here with today's guest, Marcus. Thank you for being on the show, man. I really do appreciate it.
No.
I know it was last minute. We
It was
had
great.
Andy Hendricks was supposed to be here, and he was going to be on the show, and he promised me and all this stuff. And he's like, let me send, my number one man to come in and fill in my shoes. So the only person that can fill Andy's shoes, right?
No, I cannot fill Andy's shoes, but he would probably make a much better interview. I will be your technical issue that you faced today. But seriously, thanks for having me. And hey, kudos to Corva for the event. So a good turnout and a good overall vibe. Yeah.
All right, so thing I want to be able to talk to you about, right? How did you get into the industry?
Okay. No, that's a good one. I know you probably think that I'm an engineer by trade. I am not.
Yeah, you scream engineer.
Yeah.
That's all I was thinking.
I honestly am a studio art major. So, I went to school for studio art design and merchandising. And,
What?
yes, and very quickly realized that I needed to be looking at other areas for the in the job hunt. But I grew up in South Mississippi. My dad was a carpenter, mom's school teacher, and so drove a lot of nails. Wasn't shy of working. And believe it or not, my first introduction was at a Walmart to a gentleman whose son I played ball with. So a man named Kenneth Lancaster, still a great friend. And,
Can't hear? Oh, sorry,
Okay.
Tracy can't hear us. Sorry, guys.
Well,
No, she just can't hear.
okay. So, Kenneth brought me in for an interview in Laurel, Mississippi, believe it or not. And when he brought me into their shop, so this is Mississippi oil field, right? And he brings me in there and he shows me, hey, this is what you potentially could be doing here. I was going to sweep the shop basically, but I would, potentially run some single shot tools, which is taking a shot of a compass. Then he said, now over here we have our gyro calibration machine. And so if you talk about the technology difference in this versus this highly advanced, gyro tool and, that calibration stand, I was just kind of like, wow, there's a bit of a gap here. So anyway, fast forward that, I interview and with a couple guys and they go, man, we appreciate you, but we think you do great in sales and we got something for you. You just stand by. And I thought, well, thanks for letting me down easy,
Yeah.
So my wife, wife now, but at the time we moved to Nashville and I sold boots on the strip and at a store. So not, on the actual street selling boots, but that's what I started doing. And very quickly I got a call that said, hey, come down. We want to start a district down in Corpus Christi. So I went down there, started doing that, started running MWD for these guys. And pretty quickly they realized I wasn't a very good MWD hand. And so they said, all right.
Neither was I. So much we have in common.
I can't sit on that rig for that long, man. I give it to the guys that can. You know, I got a brother in the oil field. He does it all day, every day, and it's. But you know, hey, I got the taste of the field, and but really, what I think cut out really, you know, learned the most was field sales. So they kicked me over to field sales, and I ran the South Texas roads, knocking on company men doors from 1 to 2 on Wednesdays, or whatever time they had open. You wouldn't realize that until you actually got to the rig after an hour-long lease road. But man, that was a time I'll never forget, man. That was great, and that's really, I think, what taught me true sales, and kind of getting out there and you know, learning from these company men. And as you can imagine, it was some, you know, these are some colorful guys, you know, great guys,
very colorful.
And
I'm just imagining now like that adult coloring book, but it's like psychedelic pictures with the company man sitting in his, you know, in his office chair.
I didn't get too much into the studio art conversation with them. I can say that, but no, these were honestly great guys, and man, I really just love doing that. You know, so for me, you know, the story of kind of getting into the oil field is really that, and you know, from there, I got opportunities to move to Houston, and a lot of gentlemen along the way. You know, Matt Gilliott was a big coordinator of mine that helped me along, and you know, a lot of other managers, Wes Shedd, you know, Ezra North, you know, man, just tons of guys that, you know, worked that were managers. You know, really just.
Ezra's a great guy.
Oh yeah. I hope he hears this, you know. But anyway, I kind of accredit it to people, to be honest, man. The companies I've worked for a lot of great companies, but it's these individuals that's given me opportunities, right? And I've tried to grab onto those and, you know, make the best of those. But anyway, fast forward, that was a scientific drilling. I did that for a while. Sold, you know, moved to Houston and was the, I guess, kind of Houston gyroscopic surveying technical sales guy. And you know, from there went to selling directional. Did that for a while, and you know, made a jump over to a startup directional company, and learned quite a bit. So anybody that's done a startup thing understand that it's a dog eat dog world, and your timing better be right. So we did that for a little bit. I ran a sales and marketing team with some awesome guys. Still close friends today, and man, it's just really high quality guys, man. It just, you know, you're beating the streets together, right? So man, it just didn't, you know, really enjoyed doing that. Enjoyed managing a team, you know, and but all good things kind of come to an end, especially in the startup world. So I realized I wanted to take a shift, you know, learn something new, make a change, and came over to Patterson. Technical difficulties, see?
Yeah, technical difficulties. That's all right. There we go.
Oh,
now we're not blurry.
Yeah. So yeah, I went over, and Patterson gave me a great opportunity to come sell rigs for him, man. And man, it just it was great. Really opened my eyes to the rig side of the business. You know, understanding these term contracts and you know, striking these deals with customers. I will say, directional sales is one of the hardest ones out there. You got a lot of competition, but you got a lot at stake when you're out here marketing rigs. And but man, it was a wonderful opportunity doing that for a bit. And yeah, and then got the opportunity. You know, Matt Pye and Andy, as you mentioned, and among others, you know, allowed me to go work for our parent company, if you will, and support all of our businesses. And you know, I do that in really supporting. As a liaison between these different groups all around our kind of innovation and that emerging technology, which I'll speak a little bit later today. But it's a learning experience, man. And I think the more I do it, the more I realize that I don't know very much. So it's humbling, man.
The more you learn, the more you learn that you don't know.
Don't know. Yeah. So, man, I thought I was smarter than this. I think 2 years ago I knew more, but you know, it's yeah, it's humbling for sure. But you know, just you know, excited, man. Excited about, you know, what we're doing. Excited about, you know, what I get to support, and really just the autonomy that I kind of get in what I'm doing now.
I mean, you get to come do stuff like this,
I get to
right?
do this. This is
part of your job.
This is my job. Yes, it is. But and I enjoy doing that. And like I said, I wasn't making a good MWD hand. So let's be honest, this is more in my lane.
Like I said, I wasn't either. So tell me this: what is it like working for Andy?
Oh man, Andy's great. Andy is at IADC right now, so he's repping us there, and but he's really a down-to-earth guy, but technical. And so here I come in the mix, right? So I learn a little bit from Andy every time I sit down with him. But man, he's great, and along with a lot of our other guys, man. I mean, we've got at Patterson, Patterson is paying me. That is true, but
yeah.
I will say that we have a strong leadership team, man. Like just the presidents. You look at our presidents across the board. We have, Mike Holcomb, our president of our drilling organization. We have Akshay Sagar on our universal pressure pumping side, and we have Keith Chemetsky now at MS Directional. And I mean, it's just good dudes, and
Chad Hannock.
Chad Hannock. Thank you. Sorry, Chad. My gosh. So we're talking about
probably one of the smartest guys in the company.
He is. No, they but just man, good leaders, and going back to what you asked about Andy, and it's the same for these other leaders that we have, is accessibility. And man, you don't I don't take that for granted at all, because being able to walk down there and have conversations, and and that goes for most everybody in our company, just be able to step in and and talk with our leaders like that. So that's huge, man, and that's the culture, right? I'm a firm believer that it's culture driven from the top. I think that you can have a legacy of a company that lives on for a while, but I truly think that your company DNA and that culture, that's those top leaders that are that's filtering down to the rest of the organization. So I think you can influence. I think there's influencing that happens at lower levels, but again, that culture, man, that starts there. My thoughts.
So for everybody that is watching, if you guys do have any questions to be able to ask Marcus or about Corvacon or anything else, please let us know. We'll have Tracy just raise her hand and say, hey, there's a question over here, and let her read it off to us. Have we gotten any so far, just to be able to check? All right. So Marcus, answer me this. Like, you talked about, doing field sales, going out there and seeing company men. What was the most important thing that you learned through that process?
Wow. What I learned through that process is that we are emotional buyers. That's what I believe, and what I see, and So, and what I mean by that is, these company men, and I think even engineers and everybody today, they're making their decisions emotionally. Now, you have to have rational data to back that up. But at the end of the day, when they're finally making that final decision, it's an emotional call for them. And I don't know, that's the way that I sell. That's the way that I try to work with people. And that's definitely what I noticed out there, in the field is, create that connection with who you're working with. The service quality has to be there. All that's a given, right? But when it comes to, making the sale and building a relationship and, having the sticking power with customers, get that emotional connection. And by emotional connection, I mean that, that they know that you're partnered with them in this, and that you're invested, in what the goal that they're working towards, that's what I kind of saw with company men out there, and and that you're dealing with people, right? I mean, but again, these are, just salt of the earth, good folks. And I do miss some of that. I will tell you, that is the podcast idea I would recommend for Gibson Reports, is on the road, interviewing company men in the trailer house. You may have done it, but
I have not done that. That would be wow. That would be something right there. Going out there and interviewing the company men.
Hey man, they are the tip of the spear. So, but that's just great, man. You learn. I learned so much. I'm still learning a lot. So, but
yeah, we're live right now.
Come on in.
No. Come in. See, you never know what's going to happen when we're streaming live. Hey,
that was Dharmesh with Corva.
Oh, Dharmesh. I'm not sure who Dharmesh is, but
he's a big deal at Corva. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. So So you did the field sales. Now to give me the best advice, your best sales advice, or no, I shouldn't say sales, but your best advice for somebody who is going the route of starting up, doing their own startup.
Oh, geez. You know,
because obviously, I mean, you lived through that as well. So
yeah. I really wish you, typically they give the questions ahead of time.
No, that's not how we do this here. No, you got to think on your feet.
I will reference a TED Talk right now. I'm going to do it. I watched a TED Talk the other day. Not that I'm a big TED Talk watcher constantly, but it was about startups and what they mentioned. They put them in order, and I thought it was surprising. They talked about number one, timing, and number two was the team. Number three was the idea or the innovation there, right? And so, or the product. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. I really would have probably placed, team and, product a little bit higher, but it makes sense, right? So timing. I mean, timing's key. If you don't have that right, you can have the best product, you can have the best people, But I think it's interesting that you do have, your people, that leadership team in the number two spot, because that will make a huge difference. So that's what TED Talk says, So, I mean, hell, I'll go with that. But on the startup side, I would say that's just a tough racket, for anybody. But build a good team, time it right, and try to have some kind of differentiator that you're going to come to market with, and that's it's not an easy task. So,
speaking of differentiation, like how do you go about doing that within Patterson, right? Because I know a lot of people say 1 trillion is just, they're all the same. Yeah. They're all operating off of the IADC. Standards and stuff like that. How do you guys look at being able to differentiate yourselves?
No, that's great. Well, there's, we can get into the process side of things and the way that we do things different. And obviously, we're always going to talk about safety and what we do there. But, I'll dive a little bit deeper into, it's going to be our technology offerings that we bring to the table. So, one thing I'll be speaking a little bit later is our Ecoverse suite, and this is our reduced emissions technology. And, with that, we invested early, which, again, beyond me, we'll give, Andy and all the presidents the foresight and the credit on that one. But we invested early, and with that, we're bringing more options to the table for our customers. And so that's everything from hybrid battery storage that we're putting out on our rigs, we're replacing, engines out there. It's smart engine logic that we're deploying. Obviously we have 100% nat gas, dual fuel, things like that. And then it's the, experience and expertise on our current power side when it comes to building these highline substations. So, the Patterson maybe that you might know of, 5 years plus ago, a lot has changed. We've got a lot underneath the Patterson umbrella, still kind of surprising some people we talked to on some of that. So I got to do a better job at marketing that. But, that's the type of conversations and that's the type of needs that customers need to see. They want options, right? But they want practical options, and the value proposition has to be right. And so that's what we're trying to deliver, and I think we're doing a pretty good job. You heard our earnings report, so I think.
Oh yeah. If Andy's talking, I'm listening.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that's the differentiator for us.
I've got a couple of shares.
Nice.
I'm not going to say I'm the smallest, but I'm definitely not the largest. I'm in the very low percentage, the holders or whatever, retail investors.
That's all right. That's all right. They all matter.
Hey, my vote counts too.
Yes, sir.
All right, so take me through. You said you need to do a better job marketing. So what are you doing on a daily basis for Patterson?
You weren't supposed to ask that question, David. That's not part.
Is that what Andy's going to figure out?
Yeah, we can't let this out. No, I get that question. What is it that you do again, Mark? Man, my day-to-day changes. Honestly, it revolves around a lot of focused initiatives we may be working on. Again, I try to narrow it in saying it's around our innovation and emerging technology. So maybe it's a campaign that we're working on. So there's some true marketing aspects working with our Marcom team, and I'm kind of blessed in that I'm always working with a great team as I do this. So I'm not a one-man band by any means. I get to stand right beside a lot of our awesome, much more technical people that we have in all of our organizations. So what I do is focus initiatives that we may be working on, and one, for instance, recently was that Hi-Fi guidance launch.
Yeah.
So working on that. That's our trajectory optimization software through Spirit QC. So those type focus things. Working a lot on videos that we're putting out for customers currently, and they get me up and speak every now and again at panels and whatnot.
And live shows.
and live shows.
What's been the most exciting thing that you guys have been, most exciting initiative for you as of recently? Something that's like just really, like you're ready to throw on your shoes and get to work. To be on.
We're doing a few different things internally, which I think is kind of exciting. But I'll reference something which is just getting started, and that's our way of life type. It's a Live Safe program which we've implemented, and it's actually a program which we got from our acquisition recently, and we're actually bringing that into our organization, and we saw a need for that, and we really liked the way that they structured that. And so that's really early on, but I just I appreciate that it's a safety focus, and it's bringing in a lot more. How can I say this? It's bringing in a lot more structure, to what we've had currently, and what we're deploying out, to all of our employees. And so I'm dancing around a little bit because it's really early. But I'm excited. I'm excited about that and what we're doing with that, because I think we're going to make a real difference. We get that out to our people.
Since you're on the emerging technology side, where do you see the drilling contractor side of the business in 5 to 10 years? What's going to be might be that new differentiator that takes place, or the thing that might be most unexpected with drilling rigs in the future?
Man, that's a great question. I mean,
you're like, if I had the answer to this, we'd be sitting here.
Well, I mean, there's so many things that's gonna change what that could look like, right? And obviously, if the market stays high, but what you've seen is a lot of rigs go out that maybe weren't working, a year ago. And what I'd say is that customers are more than happy to pick a lot of these rigs up. These are AC rigs. These are not lower tier rigs really, but these are rigs that maybe don't have the exact same wrecking capacity as others. I'm talking as an industry, not as necessarily Patterson, but you're seeing these rigs get picked up. And so, I think that lower capital deployment of technology is going to be big. I think that there's robotics that's talked about, and there's full automation that's happening and things like that. But hey, I mean, the purse strings have not burst wide open, for anybody, and for the investment and things like that. And so I think that they'll keep the capital spend tight, our industry, and I'm not speaking on Patterson's behalf, but as an industry. This is Marcus's comments here. And, I think
my thoughts and comments are my own.
Exactly. A little disclaimer. But I think that that's what we'll see get deployed on a wider range of rigs. And, some of this, lower barrier to entry technology that we can deploy, things around automation, things like that. We're talking about process automation. So, going back to bottom, slips to weight, weight to slips, things that are going to create more consistency for our operators, and hopefully less BHA damage, pit damage, and things like that, so that they can better plan their business and eliminate some of these, variables.
Yeah, process automation's a big one, because that is definitely some low-hanging fruit. It's just being able to map everything out and then be able to go and execute on it. And then everybody wants more consistency with their drilling rigs.
Sorry I didn't go space rig, man, or any,
That's all right. I mean, we're gonna have to do some asteroid stuff at some point in time. Let's see. All right, so we're right at the 2 o'clock spot. So let's definitely give away the drill bit. If you guys haven't already, be sure to type in #Corva. Right. Any final words? Your thoughts on the event today?
Hey, great event. Thanks for having me out. Thanks for putting me on the show. And I hope that somebody watching this goes, geez, if Marcus can do it, there's hope for everyone.
Well, thank you for filling Andy's shoes. Andy wasn't actually supposed to be on the show today. That was just me joking. That's just me. teasing Andy, who's definitely not going to be watching this. By any means.
He'll watch it and he'll appreciate it, man.
Oh, you think he'll watch it?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Here we go. Drum roll. Tracy hits the button. I can't see it, so I don't know who it is. So Tracy's just going to have to tell us once the thing's done. But this will be for the hashtag Corva winner of the week, or not of the week, of today, because we're going to do another show tomorrow. Jose Marin is the winner of the week. Jose, so be sure to shoot me a DM on LinkedIn. Send it over to me and or to Tracy, because I'll just send the information over to Tracy. Send me over a message. We'll get in touch with you, get your address, and get you a drill bit sent to you. Once again, man, thanks so much for being on the show. I do appreciate it.
Man.
For anybody that is watching this and you're in the Houston area or you're within 3 hours and you want to join the happy hour, that'll be taking place a little bit later today. Get on the road, get on out here, and that's it. Or tune in tomorrow. We've got Grant Pruitt. It's going to be on the normal Friday 10 a.m. Vdoorlocksmith Show. Next week, I'll be in Alaska with I'm not even sure who my guest is going to be yet. I think it's going to be Mike Redburn. But we might have some other people that are there in the oil and gas community up in Anchorage, Alaska. So that's where I'll be live streaming from. It might not be at 10 a.m. I'm not sure what time it'll be because, I mean, it's 3 hour difference. I don't plan on having to make them wake up at 7 a.m. just to be able to accommodate everybody normal time. Anyways, I'm rambling on. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, know your industry.